Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Bexar County Court at Law number 6 and the Bexar County Veterans Treatment Court. Motion to revoke probation docket. Today is July 29th, 2021. It is approximately 10:15 a.m. The cases I have set for hearing today are State of Texas versus Hector Alcala Valadez, cause 509244, represented by Mr. Jerry Valdez.
Present.
State of Texas versus Jenny Nowak, cause number 632177 and 656992, represented by Ms. Suzanne Kramer. State of Texas versus Joe Diaz, cause number 635510, represented by Ms. Tanisha Taylor. State of Texas versus Steve Buckley, cause number 645288, represented by Mr. or Judge Bob Behrens. And State of Texas versus June Eileen De Leon, cause 653301, represented by Mr. John Garcia. This time, let's take up cause number 635510, State of Texas versus Joe C. Diaz. Ms. Taylor, are you ready to proceed?
Yes, Your Honor, I am.
Thank you. And cause 635510, Mr. Diaz, the first document I need you to identify your signature on for me is entitled Defendant's Consent to Motion to Revoke Hearing by Video Conference. Is this your signature on this document, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. And Ms. Taylor, as attorney for Mr. Diaz, is this your signature on this document also?
I can't see the document on my screen, but it's
If you signed one, this is it, if I were guessing.
the same document. Yes, that's my signature.
Thank you. The next document I have is entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Right of Appeal, which is marked, quote, is an adjudication of guilt following a deferred adjudication and the defendant has a limited right of appeal. Is this your signature on this document, Mr. Diaz?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. And Mr. Taylor, as attorney for Mr. Diaz, is this your signature on this document?
Yes, it is, Your Honor.
Okay, representing the state is Ms. Alexis O'Connor, and Mr. Guillermo Flores, representing the Bexar County CSD is Ms. Susan Gross, who I will swear at this time. Ms. Gross, please raise your right hand. Do you swear the testimony you are about to give to be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? And your microphone is turned off, Susan. I couldn't hear you. I saw you though.
Yes, sir, I do.
Thank you. Okay, Ms. Taylor, my understanding is this is an uncontested motion to revoke. Is that correct?
No, Your Honor, it would be contested.
All right, let's talk about that. There are two options on a contested motion to revoke probation. One is what I call a full-blown motion or a contested motion where we just reset this from today until the state is ready to proceed. And my understanding is the probability is you're going to get the same witness today that you on a contested motion, i.e. Ms. Gross, that you would get today. Ms. Gross, I guess the only other option really is to call in the actual probation officer that supervised Mr. Diaz during his term. Is that correct?
Yes, sir, I can check to see if she's available at this time to jump on.
Okay. The other option is that you would come to me as the trier of fact with regard to pleading not true to all these allegations, and I would make the determination. So those are I'm going to make the determination ultimately anyway. But those are your two options. Do you wish to pursue those? What we normally do on these is I allow people to plead true with an explanation or untrue with an explanation. And then obviously you can call all your witnesses or elicit whatever testimony from the defendant that you wish. And we go from there. So the ball's in your court, whatever y'all would like to do, we're happy to accommodate.
Yes, Your Honor. Could we possibly reset it in order to call more witnesses?
Let's see if we can get Susan call the probation officer and see if he or she is available. And if they're available this morning, we're going to go ahead and do it today. And if not, then we'll reset until they're available. Would that be okay with everybody?
Yes, Judge, I am messaging her right now.
Okay. So let's put Mr. Diaz off to the side for a moment. And let's proceed with June Eileen De Leon, cause 653301. Mr. Garcia, are you ready to proceed?
Yes, we are, Your Honor.
Thank you. This is cause 653301, State of Texas versus June Eileen De Leon. This is a motion to enter adjudication of guilt and revoke community supervision. Ms. De Leon, the first document I need you to identify your signature on for me is entitled Defendant's Consent to Motion to Revoke Hearing by Video Conference. Is this your signature on this document, Ms. De Leon?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. And Mr. Garcia, as attorney for Ms. De Leon, is this also your signature on this document?
It is, Your Honor.
Thank you. The next document I have before me is entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Right of Appeal, which is marked, quote, is an adjudication of guilt following a deferred adjudication and the defendant has a limited right of appeal. Ms. De Leon, is this your signature on this document also, ma'am?
Yes, Your Honor.
And Mr. Garcia, the attorney for Ms. De Leon, is this also your signature on this document?
It is, Your Honor.
Thank you. And Mr. Garcia, my understanding is this is an uncontested motion to revoke probation. Is that accurate?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, the same parties representing the state and the Bexar County CSCD as previously referenced are present. Ms. De Leon, in cause 653-301 on the motion to enter adjudication of guilt and revoke community supervision, how do you plead, ma'am?
True.
And Ms. Gross, would you please advise the court and the parties of the status of Ms. De Leon's probation, please?
Yes, Your Honor. Ms. De Leon has done well with her reporting. We last saw her on July 21st, 2021. She's paid $204 towards her fees, has a balance of $1,075, and is current at this time. She's had 3 positives for alcohol on the Smart Start mobile device, where she's currently testing 4 times a day. She has skipped 9 tests during the last month, and she's had 3 high BRACs of 0.062, 0.23, and 0.20. We have no proof of enrollment or completion of DWI education, victim impact panel, or CATSNP programs. She has no criminal history. This is her first violation report, first MTR. The officer is recommending that she be moved to a SCRAM device for a minimum of 60 days and that she be enrolled in all of her classes within 30 days.
Okay, Mr. Garcia, what are you requesting?
Your Honor, we're requesting the minimum amount of scram. My client needs to go back to work. She has been complying as best she can. I had spoke with her, and she had she understands the importance of signing up for classes and getting all the requirements she needs to do on probation done. And we're asking what minimal things she can do. With the most important thing is that my client get back to work.
She's been on probation since it looks like June 17th. That sound right, Susan?
Yes, Your Honor.
So July, she's only been on probation like a month or a month and a half at most. Is that correct?
That's correct, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. De Leon, I can't stop you from drinking. That's our big problem, it appears. Have you,
No.
are you registered for any of these classes that you think you're not registered for? Are you doing anything? Tell me what you're
Yes,
doing.
I am registered, Your Honor, and I did finish my victim impact panel. I sent it to my other attorney. I guess she didn't get the documentation, but I'm still working on the other 2 DWI education classes.
Are you working, going to school? What are you doing when you're not drinking?
I'm working.
Where do
I
you
learned
work?
my lesson, Your Honor. I promise. It's just my first violation, and I'm young, and I made stupid mistakes, and, going to jail for 5 days was very scary, and I do not want to do that again.
And I missed it. Did you tell me where you're working? Where are you working?
I work at a bar.
Oh, that's helpful.
Well, we're not allowed to drink on the job, so we don't drink anyways.
Okay, state recommendation.
Your Honor, based on the nature of the offense and nature of the violations, the state agrees with probation recommendation, Judge.
Okay, well, Ms. De Leon and Mr. Garcia, especially as Mr. Garcia already knows, the textbook solution is just revoke you and put you in jail for 6 months, and that would get your attention. Is that going to be necessary?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Garcia, I'm about this close to just going ahead and revoking Ms. De Leon and giving her the jail experience. Have you got anything else you can tell me about why we should save her at this time?
She understands the importance of doing what she needs to. She's registered in the classes. She's also been paying her fines, and she's quite young, and I feel that she's learned from her mistakes. She's quite smart, so I'm certain that she has learned from her mistakes.
Are you willing to volunteer to go on Scram Bracelet at $350 a month for as long as it takes for you to stop drinking?
Yes, Your Honor.
I can't sit here and tell you it's going to be a month or 2 months or 3 months because the only historical trend I have on you is drink, drink, drink. I don't think you're going to make it on a scram bracelet even, but that if you're willing to do that, we'll give you a shot. That's what your attorney's asking for.
I'm willing to do that as long as I'm able to
All
go
right.
back to work so I can pay for these fines.
Okay, Ms. De Leon, and cause 653-301, the court accepts your plea of true to all allegations on the motion. Hang on. To enter adjudication of guilt and revoke community supervision. I deny the state's motion to enter adjudication of guilt and revoke your community supervision, or you continued on deferred adjudication probation with no sanction at this time, although I have the authority to put you in jail for 30 days just to get your attention. Do I need to do that, or do you think you can? I've got your attention without the jail time.
You have definitely have my
Right.
attention.
Good answer. Continue on deferred adjudication probation, adding the scram bracelet within 10 days. She's currently on Smart Start Mobile, and she's been blowing into it apparently while this MTR has been pending. Is that correct, Sue?
Yes, sir, except for the 9 skips.
So as soon as your scram bracelet is installed, you can turn in the Smart Start Mobile, and that saves you the plus or minus $100 a month that is.
Thank you, Your Honor.
I want substantial compliance within 15 days. That's 2 weeks, meaning I want you registered for every course you're supposed to be registered in. You may not start within 15 days, but you're going to be registered and you know what's going on, okay?
Yes, sir.
You think we need weekly UA, Susan, or we've got her probably high profiled on this scram thing?
I think the scram will do the job, Your Honor.
All right. I have to scratch out all my notes where I was originally going to revoke Ms. De Leon and put her in jail, and Mr. Garcia talked me out of it, so that probably won't happen again. All right, you have any questions, Ms. De Leon, on what's going on? Here's what's happened.
No, I really
Your attorney
appreciate it.
has saved you. That's it. The only thing you've done well on probation is report. And every time you report, then they tell you how many times they caught you drinking. And then the next time you report, how many times they caught you drinking. So from now on, stop hanging out with your buddies. I understand you work in a bar. I'm going to let you continue doing that. But you can't drink in the bar or before the bar or after the bar or anything.
Yes, sir.
Because the next time we meet is going to be very unpleasant. And Mr. Garcia will
I hope we don't meet
that.
again.
All right. Good answer. Anything further from the state of the defense on Ms. De Leon?
No, Your Honor.
Good luck,
Judge,
Mr. De Leon. Thank you, Mr.
I-
Garcia.
Your Honor.
Judge, I have some
you.
instructions.
Sure,
Ms.
go
De
ahead.
Leon,
Yes, ma'am.
within the next 24 hours, you'll be getting an email from your officer with amended conditions and the instructions on the scram device. Okay, you need to
Okay.
sign that document, send it back, and then go get your scram. They may not have them available right away, and you may have to make an appointment to get one in a couple of days, okay?
Okay.
If you do not have the document within 24 hours, first thing Monday morning when you wake up, you need to call Miss Olmos, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, good luck to you.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank
Ms.
you.
Gross, what did you determine on Ms. Diaz probation officer's availability?
She is coming in here in just a minute, Your Honor. She has the link to sign in.
Your Honor, may I speak?
Sure, of course.
So after I was able to confer with my client off camera, off Zoom, and I believe now we are ready to proceed uncontested.
Okay, I'm having a hard time understanding. You're saying you're switching from contested to uncontested?
Yes, Your Honor. I was able to speak with my client off Zoom, and after speaking with him.
Okay. That's fine. Susan, when the probation officer comes on, just have her stand by in case Ms. Taylor wants to call her as a witness. That'd be okay?
Yes. Thank you, Your Honor.
This is cause 635-510, state of Texas versus Joe C. Diaz, represented by Ms. Tanisha Taylor. And I believe Mr. Diaz and Ms. Taylor have already identified their signatures on the consent to motion to revoke hearing. Is that true, Ms. Taylor?
It is, Your Honor.
And I believe that both Mr. Diaz and Ms. Taylor have also identified their signatures on the trial court certification of defendant's right of appeal. Is that correct, Ms. Taylor?
That is correct, Your Honor.
And Ms. Taylor, you originally represented to the court and the state that you were requesting a contested hearing. And now my understanding is that you rethought that and you will not need a contested hearing. Can you clarify that for us?
Yes, Your Honor. I was able to have a phone conversation and confer with my client off camera. And after speaking with him, we both believe it's in his best interest to proceed uncontested.
So am I correct in assuming this is going to be an uncontested second amended motion to enter adjudication of guilt and revoke community supervision?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, fair enough. Once again, representing the state, parties aforementioned, representing the Bear County CSED, Ms. Gross, parties aforementioned. On the second amended motion to enter adjudication of guilt and revoke community supervision, Mr. Diaz, how do you plead, sir?
Guilty?
What we normally plead is either true with an explanation or untrue with an explanation.
My apologies, Your Honor, true.
It's to say true with an explanation. Ms. Gross, would you please advise the court and the party to the status of Mr. Diaz's probation?
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Diaz has been reporting as directed. We last saw him on July 23rd of 2021. He's paid $162 towards his fees. He has a balance of $1,130, and he is current at this time. We have no record of any of his 24 hours of community service having been completed. And we do have 4 positives for alcohol as registered on the Smart Start mobile device at 0.156, 0.132, 0.030, and 0.056. We have no proof of enrollment or completion of any of the classes of DWI education, victim impact panel, or the CATSNP program. This is the first violation report, first motion to revoke. His criminal history does include arrest for misdemeanor assault, bodily injury, family, felony assault of a peace officer, and a misdemeanor possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 3 less than 28 grams. His officer is recommending that the Smart Start mobile device be increased to 8 times per day, and that the defendant show substantial compliance within 30 days. And Judge, Officer Minez is here in the event that you have any questions for her.
Okay, thanks. Ms. Taylor, what are you requesting, please?
Yes, Your Honor. We're requesting, we don't have a problem with the recommendation of the 8 times a day for the device. We will request that he's on full GPS since getting arrested, that the GPS is removed so that he can work. Mr. Diaz is in a situation where his wife recently died of brain cancer, and he is now a single father to 2 children, one of which is disabled, and she has several appointments throughout the month which require him to go to. So he's also registered for his classes, and in addition to that, he's taken upon himself to sign up for a counseling that is to begin on August 10th. And we believe with all those, he's also started his community service as well. And I believe with all those things in place, he can be very successful on probation. We're just requesting that, you give him another opportunity to do that, Your Honor.
Okay, my problem with Mr. Diaz, and we try to keep him on the Smart Start mobile device at any number of blows, he keeps skipping them. So in fact, you're not blowing into it, doesn't help us any. So that's the problem. Minimum entry for me to even consider not revoking Mr. Diaz and just using a jail sentence is going to be scram. Is Mr. Diaz willing to volunteer to pay $350 a month for a scram bracelet?
Your Honor, we have discussed that just recently now, and he is more than willing to do that, the scram device. We have no problems with that.
Okay, so he's willing to volunteer to do scram program.
Yes, Your Honor.
Yeah, until such time we get that warm, fuzzy feeling he's not going to drink on us. I mean, then we put him back on the Smart Start.
He is ready and willing to do it. The days he spent in jail were really a wake-up call for him, and he knows how much he has to lose. He has his children there who only him to depend on, so he's ready to comply.
Okay, state recommendation, please.
Graham and substantial compliance, Judge.
And I got to do all kinds of recycling here because I was going to originally revoke Mr. Diaz, but Ms. Taylor's silver-tongued devil has talked me out of it. Okay, Mr. Diaz, in clause 635510, the court accepts your plea of true to all conditions on the motion to revoke, motion to adjudicate guilt. Second amended motion to enter adjudication of guilt and revoke community supervision. I grant the state's motion to revoke your deferred adjudication probation. I adjudicate you guilty of the offense of driving while intoxicated, first offense. I sentence you to 6 months in the Bear County Jail, probated for 1 year. Hey, what was the original fine amount, Susan, if you know?
Yes, Your Honor, it was $500.
$500 plus court costs. And then do you have any of the other requirements of his probation, like community service hours and that sort of thing?
Yes, Your Honor, it was 24 hours of community service, DWI education, victim impact panel, and CATSNP, and the Smart Start mobile device.
Okay, Mr. Diaz, $500 fine plus court costs, 24 hours community service, DWI education program, DWI victim impact panel, Community Alliance for Traffic Safety New Intervention Program, outpatient drug, Scram Cam ankle bracelet. As soon as the Scram Cam is active, and I'm gonna give you 10 days to get that on, then the Smart Start mobile can come off and you can turn that in. Substantial compliance in all areas within 10 days, meaning any programs that you haven't registered for yet, you need to register for. You may not start them in 10 days, you might start them a month from now, but at least you'll be registered and you know what you need to do. If he does well on the Scram bracelet, we'll pull him off of it at the earliest possible time and put him back on Smart Start. But once again, if he's not going to blow into the machine, that doesn't really help as much. But we'll give him a shot. Susan, what did I forget?
That's all. I just have some instructions for him, Your Honor.
Hey, what did I forget?
You got it all, Judge.
Go ahead, Miss or Susan, go ahead, Miss Gross.
All right, Mr. Diaz, basically you're restarting your probation all over. You're gonna have to go through an orientation process, just like you did back in June, okay? They will reach out to you within the next probably 48 hours to schedule a Zoom orientation with you. If you do not hear from them by Tuesday morning, you need to call this telephone number, 210-33.
I'm writing it down.
Okay. 210-335-7446.
Okay.
Okay. Technically, you won't be obligated to get the Scram device within the 10 days of when you're signing your conditions. However, due to the urgency of the situation and the fact that we're in a motion to revoke hearing, I'm going to have Ms. Minez email you the referral for that today.
Okay.
Okay. And it'll have the address and phone number where you need to go. And then you are obligated to go to the orientation process and sign those documents. Failure to do so or follow up with that could result in a warrant for your arrest. So you'll be staying on with Ms. Minez. You'll have the same officer. You'll be reporting to the same place, and all of that will stay the same. It's just you're starting over and you now carry a conviction.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
And do you have any other questions?
No, ma'am.
Ms. Minez, do you have any instructions for the defendant? You're on mute.
I will email the defendant the instructions.
Okay. All right.
Sorry, I do have one question. Will my client be able to get the full GPS, the GPS monitor removed?
Yeah, we're going to waive all pretrial bond conditions. So all that, as we'll go in today, it may not take effect till tomorrow, but all that GPS and all that stuff comes off today.
Thank you. I just wanted to
Okay.
make.
Yes, ma'am. Thanks for your help.
Okay.
Y'all are
And
dismissed.
Mr. Diaz, you need to keep blowing into the machine until you are strapped with a Scram bracelet on your ankle, okay? Once you provide Ms. Minez proof that you have a Scram device, she'll send me a document to have the judge sign, and then we'll send it to Smart Start, and then you'll be able to go turn in that device. Okay? You have any questions?
No, ma'am.
All right. Thank you very much. You're free to go. Ms. Minez, thank you for
Good
jumping
luck, Ms.
on.
Diaz.
Have a
Thank
good
you, Ms.
day.
Taylor. And thank you for coming, Ms. Minez.
Thank you all.
Okay, I need to sign some documents on Mr. Alcala Valadez. Is that correct? Is Pat still on?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Let me find
Mr.
him. I'll be
Valadez.
right back. Stand by. We're going into.
Norma, you'll be next because the other prisoner is not ready. And the other,
Okay, Pat,
the
thank
other
you.
prisoner, the attorney had to leave and the other MTR is off. So you'll,
Okay,
as soon as he prints it and he gets
okay,
it, then I can
okay,
take care of you and get you out.
okay. All
So,
right, thank you, Pat. Señor
welcome.
Alcalá, ¿me escucha todavía? I think he already selected Spanish. Okay.
Sí, sí, escucho. Okay.
Yes, Norma, I can.
She may be on the phone or something.
Who?
Yes, ma'am.
Who?
Yes, I selected English.
It's okay, it's Lenny. You can't go out there right now. No. You have to wait. It's okay. Ow.
believe he's printing the paperwork right now, so he should be coming in just a little bit.
Don't make her cry.
Okay, Pat, I've got Mr. Alcala Valadez's paperwork. I do not have Ms. Nowak's paperwork.
I just sent it to you, Your Honor, but Suzanne is not on yet. She's pulled out. She's got to be in another court, so we have time to do Mr. Alcala's right now.
All right, thanks. I see Ms. Nowak. And this is only one of Ms. Nowak's cases paperwork. Is there not a second case?
Yeah, but Suzanne has not signed the other one. So as soon as Suzanne comes back, I'll text her and let her know.
Susan, you're making her cry.
And Judge, you need to make sure you select English for interpretation.
Mm.
Susie, quit it. You're gonna make her cry.
Okay, ready to proceed?
Ready, Judge?
All right, we're back on the record. This is Bear County Court Law number 6 in the Bear County Veterans Treatment Court. The next case we have on our docket is number 509244, style State of Texas versus Hector Alcala Valadez. And this is a first amended motion to revoke community supervision. And Mr. Alcala Valadez is represented by Mr. Jerry Valdez. And the parties otherwise are previously as stated. Representing the Bear County CSCD is Ms. Susan Gross. Representing the Bear County, both our Bear County criminal district attorneys are Ms. Alexis O'Connor and Guillermo Flores. And I remind Ms. Gross that she has been previously sworn. Okay, Mr. Valdez, my understanding is this is an uncontested motion to revoke probation. Is that accurate?
That is correct, Your Honor.
Okay. Mr. Alcala Valadez, clause 509244. I'm looking at 2 documents, actually 3 documents that purport to have your signatures on them. The first is in English, and it is a defendant's consent to motion to revoke hearing by video conference. Is this your signature on this document, Mr. Alcala?
Correct.
Okay, is that yes?
Yes.
Thank you. Okay. The next document, and also Mr. Valdez, as attorney for Mr. Alcala, is this your signature on this document, sir?
It is, Your Honor.
Thank you. The next document I have is entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Right of Appeal. This particular document is in English and is marked, quote, is a revocation of the defendant's community supervision, and the defendant has a right to appeal the court's actions revoking the community supervision, but not the underlying conviction. Is this your signature on this document, Mr. Alcala?
Yes.
Thank you. And Mr. Valdez, as attorney for Mr. Alcala, is this your signature on this document also?
It is, Your Honor.
And the last document I have is in Spanish, and it is basically a verbatim exact copy of the one in English we just looked at, entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Right of Appeal. And my document is not marked, but it should be marked 1, 2, 3, 4th up from the bottom, which says in Spanish, quote, is a revocation of the defendant's community supervision, and the defendant has a right to appeal the court's actions, revoking the community supervision, but not the underlying conviction. Mr. Alcala, is this your signature on this Spanish document?
Hey.
And once again, Mr. Valdez, as attorney for Mr. Alcala, is this your signature on this document?
It is, Your Honor.
Thank you. Mr. Alcala, on the first amended motion to revoke community supervision, how do you plead, sir?
Your Honor, it's going to plead true to number 5 on allegations.
Okay. Ms. Gross, would you please advise the parties and the court of the status of Mr. Alcala's probation, please?
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Alcala has performed very poorly on probation. He missed his initial appointment, and then he reported, and then he missed 5 additional months of reporting. We have not seen him since July 16th, 2016. And this case did expire February 2nd of 2018. He went into lockout on his Smart Start mobile device on August 20th, 2016. And Smart Start Mobile wrote off the device on October 16th, 2016. We have no drug tests on file. We have no proof of enrollment or completion of victim impact panel, DWI intervention, GPS device, or the Palmer Drug Abuse Program. This is his second violation report, second motion to revoke. He has a prior arrest for DWI 0.15 or higher. His original fine was $700. And his officer is recommending that his probation be revoked.
Mr. Valdez, what are you requesting?
Your Honor, he pleads to the allegations with explanations, Judge. Right after he had placed on probation, he wound up losing his job. Hence, he was unable to pay for the fees that were required by probation. Then after losing his job, he wound up losing his wife. At that time, she left him. And then right after that, he lost his home. So he was homeless for a while, and he's been back and forth in jobs. He's had no money to report or to pay back to any of the probation fees. Since about a year ago, I believe he told me, we conferred at the jail, Judge. He's gotten back on his feet. He's currently married. His wife is currently in the process of trying to adjust him through immigration status. I believe he's got an immigration hold at this time. So we're asking the court to give minimum of jail sentence so that we can turn him over to, or so they can turn him over to ICE and deal with him there.
State recommendation?
The state recommends revocation. Like the probation CLO stated, Judge, this is his second DWI. The BAC in this second DWI was high, was 0.18. He has a DWI conviction from 2014. It appears that the defendant failed to comply with many of the conditions, Judge. The state recommends revocation and 120 days Bexar County Jail.
Mr. Alcala Valadez?
120.
Mr. Alcala Valadez in cause 509244. The court accepts your plea of true to condition 5 on the first amended motion to revoke community supervision. I grant the state's motion to revoke community supervision. Sentence you to 1 year in the Bexar County Jail, assess a $700 fine plus court cost, credit for time served, time and money to run concurrent. And he gets credit for the 47 days that he has on the record is what I think. And the sheriff has my permission to use 3 for 1 on that. Not that he needs it, he can do whatever he wants. And that takes care of that. Anything further from the state or the defense on Mr. Alcala Valadez?
No, Your Honor.
Good luck, Mr. Alcala Valadez. Susan, you don't need to do anything on this one, I'm assuming.
No, sir.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Valdez.
Thank you, Judge.
Y'all are dismissed.
Gracias.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Norma.
And we got Judge Barron's on Mr. Buckley. What did we hear from him?